Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Cheeseboy628 here today, giving you week 2 of NPL Season 8. So, who am I facing this week? I'm facing Adam, the Bee's Knees, the captain, the coach of the Houston Solrockets, and I, of course, am the coach of the Phoenix Sunkern. So, as you may recall from last week, I'm not going to show you the leaderboards because there's some spoilers for this week already. Granted, you might see them by now because, you know, the videos are going to be uploaded at the same time. Oh, well. So meta, my comments. Anyway, as you may know, I took a close 0-2 loss against Matty Brawlick last week. It was a good battle for sure. I ultimately just didn't make the plays I needed to when it was in my gut to make said plays. But you know what? We're back. We're here with week 2. Matty's battle didn't matter as much because he's not in my conference, as opposed to conference battles matter more for a couple of reasons. For one thing, they're the tiebreaker for who has the most conference wins if you have the same differential and same win-loss ratio as someone else in order to get the top 4. And on the other side, when it comes to a conference battle, one person in your conference wins and the other loses. So therefore, you're up 2 against the other person, if that makes sense. Like, you're both at 0 coming in, theoretically, but if one person has +1, the other person is -1, and so, you know, net is 2. So that's how I like to think of it, and that's why I think this battle is going to be kind of important to win here. So, looking at his team, he's got Megalopony, Blacephalon, Superior, Klefki, Hippowdon, Toxapex, Mesprit, Dragonite, Electivire, Volibee, and Regirock. So, an interesting team for sure. When I'm looking at it, I definitely see a lot of, I'm quite threatened by Megalopony, for sure. Hippowdon's going to take a lot of hits, Toxapex is going to take a lot of hits. And then he's got Blacephalon, a pretty scary special attacker for sure. Could sweep with a good beast boost. And he's got Superior, which also can sweep. You know, they've got a couple of different sets, whether it be Glare or Leaf Storm. Klefki, an annoying special wall. He's got D-Knight, which he could use as his Z user for sure. He also has Mesprit if he wants to use that. I don't know why you would use Mesprit, but you know what, to each their own. Then he has Electivire for some reason. And then he has a defensive core of Volibee and Regirock, so... I mean, he already has a Hippowdon and Toxapex. He's got a lot of bulky mods for sure. But so that's what's going on here. So let me explain my team. Everything good? Yes, sir. Because I've been making the man wait a little long here. So we're gonna send him a good old challenge here in just a sec. Draft League, cool. So let's talk about our team a little bit first. So we got Rizzy Cow, we got the KB. So this is Scarf KB, and that's because I need to outspeed Megalopony, and this does by 1 point. It's got a lot of attack to it, because we want that Outrage to do a ton of damage to the Megalop. I also got some good Spatak because Ice Beam and Earth Power are going to do a number on his team as well, between Klefki, Superior, Hippowdon, that kind of thing. It really just, this coverage hit his team really hard, so I'm stoked for that. Let's see here. Next we got Pompeii, we got the Volcanion, and this is an AV set because I am so worried about Blacephalon, and this is the one thing that's really going to eat hits from Blacephalon if he so chooses to use it. And so yeah, this is going to be my go-to every time, so I'm going to have to be careful about rocks, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Jirachi is just going to be an annoying set here. Iron Head, Body Slam, Healing Wish, U-Turn. And yeah, I thought about T-Wave as well, but I mean, ultimately I just chose Body Slam because I want to paralyze Hippowdon. So that's what's going on there. Got Healing Wish if I do need to get anything back to good health, in particular probably the Volcanion. Then we got Rotom. This specs Rotom because, let's see, I know this was meant to outspeed something. I can't remember for the life of me what it was, but I don't know, maybe Mesprit? I'm trying to think of it, it's probably Mesprit, because it's base 91 and I think Mesprit's base 85. We'll check that real quick. Base 80. Okay, so yeah, this is supposed to outspeed Mesprit anyway. You know, it's not the strongest mob, but with specs, it does a little bit of damage. But yeah, the point is to get a little bit of momentum, mostly to defog though. This thing's purpose, this game, is to defog, and it's got a good typing as well. Then we've got the good snack, Mega Steelix. That thing has so much defense, so putting a plus defense nature would just make it go out of the park, but we need to give it some SPDF in order to take some hits. But this thing for sure takes one little hit from Lop if need be. I'm debating between like giving like Jirachi rocks versus this rocks, but ultimately decided to have this and sacrificing Roar in exchange. And then lastly, I got the Tapu Bulu, and this is a very similar set to last week. This time, hoping it does very similar work, really. It's going to be able to take at least one hit from Lop, and then with lefties, it should be able to, you know, mess things up a little bit. Yeah, overall, it's going to do pretty well. It can't stall out Toxapex most likely, but nonetheless, it's going to do a lot of work, I'd say. So that is the team. We're just going to get into it now. I'm stoked. I'm really hoping that it works out this week because this is an important battle, like I was saying. And we're going to send him the challenge. Hopefully he sends the linky-doo to our compadres that are going to be watching this battle. And someone immediately comes in. So let's do a little analysis here, man. People are stoked. Okay, like I said, Lop was going to be scary. He's got that, he's got D-Knight as well. D-Knight without a DD is not the scariest thing in the world. But once you get that DD, that's when we got a problem. Okay. So, yeah, his offensive core is just pretty scary. I can see him running HP Poison on his Superior. Because, I mean, HP Fire isn't really necessary when Leaf Storm is going to take out that, but at the same time, you want to hit Jirachi, so, I don't know, to each their own there. I think ultimately my best lead is going to be Rachi. Definitely see him leading Lop. Not really a reason not to. Yeah. While KB is naturally bulky, its only point is to be able to outspeed things, so it's kind of a benefit in this way. Just gotta make sure it doesn't get T-waved, but if it does, you know, I Heal and Wish just in case. But right now, Jirachi's point is just to get momentum. You know, I want to U-turn out into something that's gonna be able to take hits. And he's not gonna necessarily know what my set is from turn 1 with my Rachi, so I think it is a fair play to start with. Yeah, him leading Blacephalon would just seem insane to me. I can see a lot of reason for just starting with Lopunny. I mean, nothing takes a fake out because he has Scrappy. And, yeah, that way you can get a little bulk boost, I believe, as well. So, yeah, people are stoked for this battle. I'm stoked for this battle. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. He has both his Z users as well. Something to keep in mind. Scarf Superior is not going to win against my KB, so that's cool. I would like to get a little bit of damage on it, but we'll see how I can end up actually doing that. Looking at his team, if I just brought T-Wave, would have been fine. I guess kind of looking at it, he doesn't have Hippo or Toxapex, which I'm rather surprised about. I brought a decent bit to prepare for that. Okay, so this is interesting. I can see this thing just going for rocks. Because why wouldn't you? Yeah, I'll just Body Slam turn 1. Let's try to get that para. Adam lost to a pretty hexy match last week and he got salty even though he could have won. The salt blinded him and he ended up not winning the battle because he couldn't think logically at that point. So he's not going to like my Jirachi this game, not going to lie, but you know what can you do? Jirachi can run so many different sets. You saw I ran a Thunder set last week. Yeah, we're going to see what's going on here. This week I'm making faster plays, huh? Isn't that crazy? I can't imagine you'd want to go to Blacephalon immediately. You know, you don't know what this Rachi's gonna do, and Blacephalon is pretty darn frail, so risking it is not good. Another thing to note, I don't know, let's see, Superior could run Defog, Dragonite could run Defog, but of his Mons, I can see Superior being the one running Defog, which makes sense. We do not get the Para, so that's rough. I can definitely see him going into Blacephalon now, and that sucks because with rocks up, that means that Volcanian's inherently going to have to take a hit, which is super lame. And I didn't get the Para to, you know, in exchange. Also, his Mesprit outsped my Jirachi, which is telling me, you know, it's got some kind of bulk to it. Something that I didn't do last week that I really should prioritize is getting rocks up of my own, because two of his most threatening Mons will suffer from rocks. Two of my really good Mons suffer from rocks, so really should be a fair exchange there. Yeah, my 60% moves just aren't doing it for me these past 2 weeks. Would have been nice to have that thing be nice and slow, but guess not. We'll see if he has U-turn. We'll see if he just switches out. Maybe he'll use knockoff. I don't really know. As a Mesprit, though, it would make sense for him to have a pretty good matchup overall against me. But I imagine he doesn't want to take the Para either. So yeah, let's look at my bulk here. I've got a lot of defense, a little bit of SPDF too. Just got to be careful because if I'm not... yeah, I just have to be pretty darn careful about that Blacephalon right now. Definitely the scariest thing, and when rocks are on the field, I do not like the situation. Do not like it one bit. I have nothing for Blacephalon. Nothing. Yeah, it's spooky. It is a spooky mod for sure. I wonder what he's thinking right now. Taking him a little bit. But I respect it. Okay, so he does indeed go to Blacephalon. So something a little interesting is... Let's see. Oh, stop it. They're just copy pasting right now. One thing I do want to do a calc for, it's not really worth it right now, but I just want to see how much a Blacephalon does, a Scarf Blacephalon, because otherwise KB is going to be faster. I also haven't imported this team yet, so I should do that. Versus Cure and Black, Rizzy Cow. Flamethrower is going to do 51 to 60. Even a Fire Blast won't kill me if he's Timid Scarf. So that's worth noting. yeah, the big thing, Volcania is 100% my go-to, so it just sucks that, you know, I have to take that damage. Just thinking about the play afterwards, I love this picture, it's so cute. Can't imagine him wanting to go to anything except, like, I can't imagine him wanting to go to Dragonite. It's really kind of funny because he doesn't have a switch into this thing. Like, ultimately doesn't have a switch into this thing. Yeah, honestly, I think Steam Eruption is just my best play all around, 100% all around. I could potentially burn D-Knight, if not, you know, I at least take away its multi-scale. Anything else doesn't really take a hit. Superior, if it, you know, it's gonna take it, but then I can Sludge Bomb, depending on how much bulk he has, otherwise I'll just resort to Fire Blasting, but Steam Eruption is 100% of the time my play. And if he tries to get wise with me and, you know, like trick or, you know, just get a decent load of damage on me, fine by me, because I just want that thing dead. Okay, so he goes into this. We'll see what happens. I do get the burn. Cool. You know, it sucks, but at the same time, you know, my 40%, he got the 40% chance of not getting parried. I got the 30% chance of the burn, so I'd like to think it's moderately comparable in that way. Okay, so something to think about here is because I want these rocks off the field. I really do. Rotom, Choice Scarf, no. I want McQueen versus a Dragonite. Now this is a burned Dragonite. Dragon Claw. Let's see, it's a Z flying move. 2 Supersonic Sky Strikes could kill. And that's for if he was adamant as well. So yeah, I think my play, I don't know, I've got a couple of plays. Like I said, Steam Eruption was the best play here for sure. If I go to Steelix, I get rocks up. If I go to McQueen, I get the defog off. Like, you can't switch in Mesprit onto a Rotom for crying out loud. No one's insane, right? But yeah, we're gonna go directly into Rotom here. We're gonna see what he decides to do. He goes for Roost. Okay. I'm just gonna press defog here. Again, I'm stoked that that Dragonite's burned right now. But I want hazards off the field. I need that Volcanion to be a reliable switch into Blacephalon. Who knows what he's gonna think of my situation here. He could think I'm just gonna spam Shadow Ball or something. He could get edgy and maybe even like try to go to his Mega Lop, but ultimately I think his switch-ins are Superior or Lopunny. If he does go to Serp, I think my play is to immediately go to Jirachi, if not KB. One thing I should check, we got Serp versus a Kyurem. Really cow. Ice Beam does not kill from full if he has some bulk. See, the shoe's on the other foot. I'm not the one taking time this time. You can see that in the recording. Really, I don't care. I understand that you should take time to make these plays. It's important. Oh, come on. Is he having connection issues? Why does everyone else have connection issues? Gosh dang it. I also love how mod chat is changed to this because most people on this server have at least voice, and so that way no one can spam stuff, even though they're a part of the league. So I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna take a bite of my gummy worms and just enjoy the ambiance, I suppose. It's been a long day. I've been up since like 6:45. It's 11:30 now. I went to bed at like 3, so if that sets the standard a little bit more as well. But yeah, my first class was at 8:30. And then I took a half-hour nap, actually, because I was finishing an assignment, and then, but it's ultimately like with a one-on-one lesson. So I just told him, and eventually it kind of just worked out because he didn't get back to me fast enough anyway. But I was like, hey, can we just like move our lesson time? And he's like, oh yeah, no, that's what I was thinking anyway. So I was like, cool. Because ultimately, like, I got some of that assignment done, but then I was like, gosh, I just don't have enough ready. So that's when I sent the email, and I took this half-hour nap right before my 8:30. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm fine with this for sure. Here's what I've learned though. Pompeii cannot handle Dragonite, so that's something to keep in mind for sure. Now he knows I have defog. He doesn't know if I'm choiced or not yet, but I think my best play, because again I can't really hit Dragonite right now, and Rocks would actually be really good to have against him. So me immediately switching out is also going to look pretty sus, but no, I guess we'll see. It was between this and Volcanion that could have defog anyway, so keep that in mind. Something else I should check for is that an OU Scarf Blacephalon versus my Volcanion. Yeah, Shadow Ball does 31 if he's Scarf. So if it does more than that, that's how we know we've got some probs. Does this thing get Fire Blast? Maybe it gets Flamethrower. I don't know. But I would like to wear this thing down ultimately. Get Fire Punch. Doesn't get Flamethrower. So yeah, I just like to get a Toxic off on this thing for sure. Because if he gets Rocks here, then you know what? I can get Rocks out the following turn. And that's going to be great. Yeah, he decides to do that. I thankfully hit the Toxic. I've been worried about that. I wonder what he's going to do here. Because Rocks are such a good play for me. I also don't want Blacephalon coming in. And I don't know. I don't know what he'd want to do here, to be honest. But him bringing in Blacephalon could be really scary for me. At the same time, if I kill it off, that's a miracle and a half. Getting Rocks up is also nice. Here's the thing. If Blacephalon comes in for free right now, I still don't know what this thing's set is. Oh, it could be a Z user because it's Dragonite. The Dragonite has leftovers, right? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. But I just cannot let that thing come in for free. If that thing comes in right now and I go for rocks, I am in a terrible position. Because my Mega Steelix, good snack, if it's max attack with no boost, then it's gonna die. We also don't know if it's Scarf, and after enough boost with that, Kyurem dies, and we can't have that. So I just want to get rocks up, but oh, okay. This is interesting. What's particularly interesting, that's telling me he's got light screen. Or I mean, he's got, it tells me he's got light clay. So we got reflect, screens, and rocks. Maybe U-turn. He goes into superior. That's telling me he's got a, that's telling me he's trying to sub right now. Probably. I'm glad I got rocks up though. He's either gonna Leaf Storm or sub right now. That definitely puts him in a good position. Because I doubt my Jirachi is gonna, yeah, it's gonna have to 2-hit KO his sub if he so has it. Heavy Slam for sure breaks a sub. Right? I would think so. Good Snack does, it'll do 30 to 35. So let's see if he tries to sub. He does not try to sub. Okay. So here I say, I want to keep this thing alive for sure. It does decently against his team, especially against Mesprit perhaps. So we're going to go immediately to Jirachi. If he HP fires here, he's a Lord. He does not though. And I'm just going to press Body Slam. It's kind of tricky actually, because this is telling me he's a Scarf Serp, and I'm surprised by that for sure. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take a second. And the idea here is to make him think that I don't know what to do, but I definitely have a Scarf Cure. That was interesting. The way he was playing that suggested otherwise to me. But yeah, so he does have that HP fire. That means I literally have one switch in, and that's KB. Because outside of that, literally everything dies because it's outsped or, you know, something. So I 100% have to go to KB and press Ice Beam. Oh, that's not good. Because I'm just thinking about the rest of his team here, what I've got to do to win. Rocks damage is just so annoying, and Yeah, Scarf Blacephalon is really looking like it can kill off my team. After just a wee bit. Especially if I don't get those rocks off the field. But I literally have one switch in right now. And that's this. And I have to press Ice Beam. Not liking this. So he immediately goes into that. Oh, he's not going to be happy about that. So I think I'd go to Rotom. I don't know what he's necessarily going to want to do here, though. You know, because he might predict me to want to take advantage of this situation and thus, like, go into Lop or something. Who's chatting me right now? Yeah. I'm scared about that Blacephalon. I need these hazards off the field. I really do. I thankfully have that Mesper Toxic, but again, now that, especially since Jirachi's gone, I've got to be careful. Like, ultimately, Klefki's a good matchup here, so taking the chance to taking the chance to thaw makes sense. Yeah, so he does that, and I thankfully go into this. So, yeah, this is interesting. I just want to press defog. I really don't want rocks on my side of the field. Like, as great as it is to have rocks on his side, I need rocks off the field because it's the only way. It's the only way I'm going to be able to succeed. So that happens. Steelix is an easy play. Thus, it could be too easy. At this point, I don't like the specs on my Rotom right now. It's unfortunate. But I like Steelix. I even like Pompeii. Tapu, not so much. Let's see, this Serp is at 67. Don't know what item it has. I have to keep these things at decent health. I don't know. I can easily see him going to Mesper right now. Which is a plenty fine play. We'll see what he decides to do. He just wanted to get a little damage on me. I respect it. We'll see what he decides to do. He decides to Dazzle. Surprised by that. I'm just going to go for a Schlam right now, because if his Mesper comes in, I want that thing roasted. So, boom. Exactly. Get off a really nice chunk of damage. I realize, though, this can be problematic because I made it so my Rotom can be faster. Like 100% faster than this thing. And so if he can like suicide rocks basically. If he so chooses. And that would suck. And I don't have a safe way of dodging that, like getting out of that position. And he could try to light screen. And then, let's see. I'm just thinking, like, if he does decide to light screen, will Volcanion be able to kill the Fire Blast from its current range? We'll do up to 75. It's got a chance to. So yeah, Volcanion's my best play because otherwise he's gonna get rocks up and he can suicide rocks, and it may as well have the one best thing to hit his team already in, you know? Can't imagine him wanting to do anything else. At the same time, being able to go into Bulu could be nice because that gives me a chance to set up. That gives me a sub. He doesn't know if I've Rock Slide, so risking Blacephalon immediately isn't great for him. Just sucks that Rotom is so low at this point, and being faster, it would just be bad to bring it in because then Blacephalon or something can take advantage of Rotom, and I'm forced to switch out, and then something else takes damage and a hit, so it's just not fun. So that's why I'm going into this. Yes, exactly. And I'm gonna press sub. He might try to set up screens or something. Okay, yeah, so he sets up the reflect. And yeah, that's not great for me because that means his Blacephalon could very well just come in. That's definitely the scariest thing, if his Blacephalon does end up coming in. Otherwise, I mean, if he brings in Serp, that is also scary. Why? Why? I don't understand why you would bring this in. If I bring in Rotom right now, that's me at 28. Now, if I'm thinking, what is this thing going to do to me? Like, for him to go for a Z Sky Strike right now makes 0 sense. He's got to have Poison Jab, right? Like, why would he bring this in? I do not understand for the life of me why he would bring this in right now. What am I even doing? Like, does it have Heal Bell? Doesn't even get Poison Jab. You know, maybe Fire Punch. I don't know why you would bring this in. Like, unless he was like to DD and like, does it get Heal Bell? I don't know. It does. You know, it could be Roost, Heal Bell, something weird. Doesn't have leftovers. I want rocks off the field so badly, and now that Mesprit's gone, I can make it happen. I just don't know what he wants to do here. Why would you bring in Dragonite? I really want to go directly to Rhoda, because this would be my one chance to get rocks off. It would be so, like, it would be so alleviating if I was to do that. Please, dear God. Dang it. Sucks. Okay. So he's special, so that's not even an issue for him. Like, it's not the biggest loss to me. I just don't see a way of winning this, to be honest. Best way is just Scarf Kyurem coming in more and more. Good thing I put odd HP on this thing. It might come into play. I was so confused why he brought this in. It's got Roost and Fire Blast. Like, okay. This Reflect is still going to be up for some time. Perhaps I got a little bit greedy with the defog as well, but I felt I was in that position. But I guess pressing Earth Power is probably the best play. I mean, Ice Beam is very obvious, but like switching in Blacephalon on a KB's Ice Beam is not a good idea. I'm just going to press Earth Power. Does a lot. Do get the Spadef drop, but that's probably not the biggest deal. Oh, and I get that little recovery too. Kind of forgot about that. I could see him wanting to go back into D-Knight, because letting this thing die is not good for him. Volcanion is the one thing that's able to handle Blacephalon if it's Scarf. Worth noting. I just don't have a switch into this Dragonite. That's definitely a problem. But I've got to make a play here. Thankfully the screens are about to go away, so that's nice, but interesting. Oh my gosh, stop leaving. Interesting about that Magnet Rise. Him getting the first turn Thaw also meant that the freeze didn't matter, so that's at least neat. I'm gonna have to play very carefully if I want any chance of winning this. And that's really sucky because that's not looking good for the start of my season. Like, to start with 2 losses is not fun. ultimately, I guess I just undermined Blacephalon for how much I needed to prep for it. And I just didn't bring the proper hazard control. Like, maybe I should have... No, I'm not even going to reveal what I could potentially bring because, you know, in the future I may need to. But it's all if that Blacephalon is scarfed as well. But I mean, if it is, I mean, there's two conditions, right? If it's not scarf, KB wins. Yeah, if it's not scarf, KB wins. But if it is scarf, Volcanian's the only thing that has a chance. But, okay. So we're just gonna press leech here. We know he's not Specs because he has Roost. Wish Grassy Terrain was up right now, but don't really have a choice with that. Yeah, so that sucks. See what he decides to do. Goes for Fire Blast again. I eat. Reflect is about to go down, so that's cool. It's not really a big deal, but I wonder what he'll try to do here because, I mean, if he tries to Roost stall me, that's just going to give me lefties. Or, I mean, it's going to give me Leech Seed recovery, which is just going to be nice because it's going to bring me back to that 75% ideally. I'm going to have to be at least a little bit above 50 when I come back in, or no. So he decides to bring this in and that just dies. Now's the best play for him, yeah, because now I can go to Lopunny. If he doesn't go to Lopunny, I'll be confused out of my mind. At the same time, if he goes to Serp, yeah. If he goes to Serp, it's also a good play because then he's baiting me to stay in. Yes, because then he's baiting me to stay in, and wish I could finish my thoughts. Bait me to stay in, and then I wouldn't have a switch in to this guy right here. So next time I come in, I'll be at 25 plus 4. I'll be at 29. And oh, this sucks. This sucks because if Blacephalon is Scarf, again, if Blacephalon is Scarf, I would somehow need to plan it. It would be an average roll. It would be a 50-50, baby. At the same time, if I get Grassy Terrain up and I bring this thing back in, then, you know. But to me, I have one switch in. Its name is Tapu Bulu. Could go for Ice Punch. Does the same amount as return, so it's not a big deal either way. I doubt he would make that kind of play though. Yeah, he goes for Drain. Kind of surprising, but you know, whatever. I don't know if I'd press Leech here. probably. At this point, I'm really in the position that versus D-Knight, I'm gonna just have to hope. I mean, I've got a decent amount of bulk on this thing, but still. Yeah, so he brings this monstrosity in. I don't think so. I think it's a sub. What? What? Is he doing this on purpose? I think he's doing this on purpose. Maybe? I don't know what he's doing, to be honest. So he's got two plays here. He either roosts, or he just straight up attacks me right now. And I think roosting's probably his better play, actually. Yeah. He can do that if he wants, I guess. Other thing that's tricky is that Fake Out Lop just beats KB. At the current range it's at. Because once it's at 26, I guess it depends on how many mons he has left at that point. I don't know what he's trying to do right now, to be honest. That might give him enough HP, actually. Yeah, well, I'm a god and can predict you. So, take that. I am the real deal. Fire Blast Roost Depulse? What is this set? I don't know what he was playing this for, what this set is, but neat, I guess. Ultimately, I should be able to stall him out. I'm not sure what his motive is. Because what I'm going to do at this point, no, I'm going to Nature's Madness again. This time though, I'm going to press sub. And that's on purpose because if he tries to attack me, that puts him in range, and then he's going to be forced to roost again, and that's just how I'm trying to play. I don't know if that would have killed there, or if that would have mattered. We're just going to keep pressing sub here. Got a lot of HP on him. This should be in range that this... I just realized, why did I let this happen? Yeah, so what I realized, I realized there that, you know, he only had 8 Fire Blasts, and I really shouldn't have let myself, you know, fall for that opportunity. Again, though, this game should have been over forever ago, if his Blacephalon is Scarf. If not, I guess it's going to come kind of close. But yeah, that was just a bad play on my part. I shouldn't have let him kill me off with that. So yeah, if he's Scarf, he wins 100%. Well, actually, if he Shadow Balls, it might not kill. It won't kill. I can't imagine wanting to lock himself in a flamethrower. Just to have to switch out to Volcanion. He also might not think I have any Spadef on me. And thus think this will kill. Otherwise, Shadow Ball basically 100% kills. Repressing Earthquake. Okay, goes for Flamethrower. Go to this. I just press Fire Blast. That thing dies. Yeah, I can't do anything about this. It actually kills. Interesting. I press Scarf Outrage. This should kill. If it doesn't, then you know what? That's just GG right there anyway. But yeah. Guess we'll see, I suppose. It does kill. That's cool. But yeah, if he's Scarf, then he wins. Yep, and that's it. GG. So, that's funny. I can't talk in that. Yep, GG. So yeah, good battle. Just unfortunate that I'm already 0-2 right now in the season. So, lots to think about. Honestly, my biggest regret is just not having better hazard control, because I needed it in order to be able to handle Blacephalon. So, yep, that's where it ends. Hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, sub, and until later, peace.